The Bunzerelly Show.
This is the Bunzerelly Show. We stream this live most Fridays on twitch.tv/Bunzerelly. Then we take the show, we marinate it for a few hours, we get it with our own packet of secret spices and herbs. Then we batter it up, fry it, and we throw it onto YouTube and all the podcast players if you want to take it on the road. It's Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and I forget to mention Amazon Music because that's a popular one, but we're pretty much on everything. So we're talking about WandaVision, Episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall. Of course, joining me, I got my co-host Khiim in the house. Khiim, how's it going, brother?
Pretty good. How about you, bud?
Good. We definitely jumped a level here.
Yeah.
I mean, the game has changed. I didn't think. I thought it was going to kind of cruise along at the pace it was going. And with the slow developments, here's a little tidbit, here's a little, but this thing... So many things happened in this episode that really just kind of scaled it up. They started out with a Modern Family theme, or it was like an Office theme, but basically like that testimonial, talk to the cameras theme.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of Wanda getting introspective, and then the kids, of course, developing. Billy's pretty much got telepathic powers that he's struggling with.
Yeah.
And Wanda's just freaking out. We saw like the stuff with the milk and everything. Like she's kind of losing her
grip.
Yeah, and she's losing her grip, and she doesn't know what's going on, and she's making it very clear to the kids and to us that she has no idea about the Quicksilver thing. And now I'm at a point where I don't have an idea about the Quicksilver thing, but we'll stroll to that because a lot of that's in the air.
Yeah.
Hayward. So Hayward's like, we're launching today.
And they still didn't get to that, so I'm hoping we'll see that next episode.
Yeah, what his plans are. We know he's after Vision.
Yeah.
I
still think he's Hydra.
I was about to kind of argue that because I was like, well, he's going Hydra, but we're 3 episodes in. I mean, 2 episodes left, and I'm like, it's a little late for Hydra, but not really because Hydra is the simplest explanation.
Yeah.
And you don't need a backstory to him. You just say, hey, he's Hydra.
I think there's a few angles that's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there might be like a few factions right now that are playing, roles and making what's going on happen.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's in control. There's a lot of different forces that have got their own hands in the thing.
I don't think he's in control. I think he's just intelligence.
Yeah.
He just wants to know what's going on just as much as Sword does.
Oh, no, but what I'm saying is I think the angle he's coming from, and then because other people got their hands in this thing, we'll talk about the big reveal at the end, but there's other people with different motivations that are got their pieces in this and everything.
They're definitely hands-on.
Now, his thing was Vision, because I watched that scene where they showed how she stole the body again, and it seemed like there were pieces. I couldn't really tell because it was just like, a 4 split screen black and white, so you couldn't really read what was going on. But yeah, I guess Hayward was trying to get Vision back together, which seems like a breach. I mean, he even admitted was a breach of, James Wu said it was a breach of the Sokovia Accords. Yeah. So what he's doing is against Sword. It's not like Sword went rogue.
Yeah, no.
Because even later when Monica gets her reinforcements, they turn out to be Sword agents that were loyal to her mother. So, Hayward's on his own thing. So I could definitely see the Hydra thing going. If they're a player and that gives something where you don't need too much of a background because you're like already established bad guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's an easy thing, and then they catch him and everything. But then it brings into question Sword getting infiltrated by Hydra.
Yeah.
Like, do we lose Sword now? And then we're going to make a third, make a helmet or something. Yeah. They got to keep making factions every time they get infiltrated. Darcy was there. Yeah. I knew that was happening. I liked in the beginning Vision's like making a, hey, you and me, and she's like brushing him off.
Yeah,
like
she's taking it like complete wrong way.
Like, yeah, you got weak game, bro. So I think I'll pass. And I'm real glad that Vision, I liked everything that happened with Vision and her pretty much. Because Vision got
that's exactly what you wanted.
Yep, I wanted Vision up to speed. Now, I thought Vision would get up to speed over the thing. I didn't realize Vision wasn't going to get everything. He got Ultron. He got Jarvis. Yeah. He has a whole understanding. They explained Infinity War to him, Endgame, and he had a cool introspective to it too, because he's realizing the things we talked about.
Exactly.
It's like, man, Wanda just went through this. This
he's
stinks.
recognizing the same things that us as the audience are saying.
and he does have a legitimate care for her, probably from coming back. It's all he knows, and he's been, I won't say trained, but he's under the understanding, and at least in the beginning, that they were married.
Yeah.
And and it's not really a lie because they were in love when he died.
Exactly.
And it's, I'm sure Darcy filled in those gaps, the things that we didn't catch. But it's, and then he understands what she went through. So this is going to be the turning point where they get back on the same page, probably, because Vision was like, what am I doing sitting here? I need to go help her.
Yeah.
So that's bringing her back to, like, instead of like, and he never really was. He was always kind of empathetic, even though he believed it was wrong. He was always still trying to convince her.
Yeah.
So it's not like he just took her as the bad guy, but he did say, hey, I'm going to try to fix this problem here.
Yeah. He at one point he addressed it. He's like, what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
And she kind of just like reset it.
But even when he snuck off, he's like, okay, I'm not going to go head to head with her, but I am going to fix this thing.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to get somebody else in here to help out. So,
exactly.
Wanda, Agnes walks in and Wanda's like, I don't even want to do this today. Like do the TV show or anything.
Yeah.
Like she's just freaking out. She's breaking character and everything. So Agnes is like, I still didn't really catch anything with Agnes. I just caught like Agnes the character, because Agnes always kind of showed like as her character. Well, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Even Herb said last episode, like, do you need me to change anything? Do you need to fix anything? So they're all kind of subservient.
Yeah, she's if you really think about it, she's always been that character. Especially now you really think about it, she's always been that character that's been there to like maintain a situation.
Yeah.
Even when we go back to the very first episode with the dinner, who was the character that showed up and was like, okay, well, you can make this. I have this for you. I have this for you. I brought you this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's been that character, that background character that's kind of maintaining all the situations from the outside.
Yeah, whereas in the beginning, you would have thought it was Wanda that made her show up with the food.
Exactly.
And rescue the show. But it was really Agnes kind of knows, has a grip on what's going on and steps in when she needs to.
Yeah.
Still no Ralph.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ralph's going to be. He's going to be freaking...
Yeah.
There's been so many like theories, so I'm kind of glad.
I kind of have one for it.
Of what? Of Ralph?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to get into it yet, though.
Okay.
I want to talk about that at the very end.
Well, because there was theories in general. Yeah. And what it is like... I'm scrolling Twitter. First of all, I'm posting stuff we got to post. But I'm also like, and I don't want to say an idea, but I always do. I say, I read this somewhere else. Yeah. So even if I forget, I'm not taking credit for anything. But it's like, I'm trying to think of my own thoughts and my own theories.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things like Pietro's quick, Mesfito. He's Nightmare.
Okay.
People were riding that Mephisto. I think it's Mesfito or Mephisto.
It's okay. I'm glad that you bring him up.
Okay.
Yeah, I read about him. Yeah.
You think that's going to be Ralph? Because that's
yeah, I think that could be Ralph with everything because once if we just jumping to then if we learn everything, because this whole episode
is based on that.
The only thing I could say that we could talk about before that is Monica.
Yeah.
We see that she has some sort of powers or something is changing with her. So that makes me go back to what I said about the mutants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so definitely some people are getting changed by this reality.
Yeah.
I think it's all the people who came back from the snap. It could be people just in general who go into that reality. But I think it's a combination of the snap people and the reality that makes those people turn into mutants.
And the other thing is those people have been in the Hex. Mm-hmm. They've just been like the Hex. I'm assuming the Hex was formed around them.
Mm-hmm. But if you think,
Monica's been going back and forth through it.
Yeah.
Not saying that the mutant thing can't happen. It can. I think Monica's going to be a little beyond.
Yeah.
I think Monica's on her road to becoming that Captain Marvel sort of character.
Yeah. Well, I looked into her character a lot, especially once they confirmed that they were going that route.
Yeah.
So she becomes Captain Marvel, but her character is more known as like Photon or like Pulsar.
Yes, I saw that too. Yeah. She had a bunch of different names.
Exactly, a bunch of different names, and that jumps off into this whole multiverse thing. Honestly,
yeah,
it does, because it starts dealing with Earth 616. Every character that I was like looking into information on dealing with this episode, it all leads back to Earth 616.
Well, yeah, a lot of that comes to Agatha's motivation. So we got the Agatha reveal.
Yeah.
I love she got her own theme song.
Yeah.
That was great. I watched that part a couple times. Agatha, and she winks at the camera and everything.
Yeah. She's a great actress.
I love her. Yeah. I know she's been in stuff before this.
Everything she's in, she's always been.
Yeah, I got her name. What is it? It's Yeah, Catherine Hahn. But she's been around. She's been doing some things.
Yeah. She's a goat.
Yes. Now I looked up Agatha Harkness, and I just saw Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Taught her magic. I saw she taught the Scarlet Witch magic, and I saw Fantastic Four. You apparently know a lot. You researched or you read, but you said you had a lot on her.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, same thing you said. She's trained and mentored Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
So from what I'm looking at the show, maybe that's kind of the relationship that's going on. When I went deeper into their relationship, she often mind wipes Scarlet Witch to keep her in control. Scarlet Witch might be a little bit more powerful than she is and just in natural raw ability, but she has the experience and the knowledge of like how to do things. You know? That's
what I'm gauging. Is like Wanda's more powerful.
Yeah.
But I think Agatha knows how to run Wanda.
Exactly. And we see that at the end of the episode. Like she kind of says, "Oh, what, honey? You thought you were the only witch in town?" And then she snaps, does a spell, and we see something happen with Wanda's eyes.
Yeah.
So, off of that, it goes. You want to go into Mephisto or
it's going to everything.
Mephisto, so that book that they showed, because I was looking, they kind of went to a scene where they showed like a spell book. It looked like a spell book.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, let me see what spell books exist in the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
The main one that was coming up was the Darkhold. The Darkhold deals into with the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, Mephisto.
Oh, that book's like a canon book?
Yes, it is a canon book.
Okay.
So it even was mentioned in the series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Which we're seeing is taking place, has some like effect on this universe that they're talking about now. So Mephisto, he's basically just like, he's known as like the Tempter, I guess. He's like ultra powerful. Apparently, this would not, if he is in this would not be the first time that Marvel's already dealt with him. He was in both of the Ghost Riders.
Yeah, but that wasn't Marvel canon at the time. Was it Marvel canon at the time? I don't remember who ran Ghost Rider.
I don't know who had Ghost Rider.
Okay.
But
if they got an actor.
But I'm just saying that is a character that is known to be used, you know?
You know, I don't know if Ghost Rider was a different studio. It might have just not been as popular, and they kind of just...
that we got a comment in
wait.
Baklava 1019.
Hey, thanks, Baklava. Yeah, it's about to get real up in and for real.
It's just about to get real for real. But they have used Ghost Rider in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's right, they made him canon.
Was in there. He was canon.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I'm thinking Nick Cage Ghost Rider.
And even Mephisto was the essence or the spawn of Ghost Rider.
Okay.
So it ties in.
Okay, so he's existed in that. He has been in his continuity or something.
Yes, he's in the background somewhere.
So the question is what are they trying to do with Wanda? So are they trying to make something happen, but they need Wanda's power to make it happen, but they're kind of using her situation with wanting to keep Vision alive. They're trying to like...
Now... I know at the beginning of all this, when we were all just making speculations on who was going to be the next big bad, the one thing that I kept seeing come up was Kang the Conqueror.
Okay.
He was going to be the next big bad. If that's the case, and I see that they're using all these Earth 616 characters, he is that next big bad. And it kind of does tie in with what happens with the Multiverse of Madness. It's just like, let me see.
Well, I think Kang is tied into Ant-Man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors, but I think he's supposed to be the villain in that, but doesn't mean, because it wasn't called Quantumverse, it was called Quantumania. But if this multiverse thing does happen, what did it say? Baklava is still in the chat room. He says, Wanda is going to become the bad guy. I thought they were steering that way until the Agatha thing. Now I'm catching Wanda as the Vision.
Again, that comes to like, I think what I want to say is what happened is Agatha probably popped up, was like, hey, I can help you with your situation. Let me teach you how to do these things. Because when it goes back to Mephisto, the two kids, he helped Wanda create the kids. Mephisto created the two kids for Wanda using his own soul.
I have read up on that.
Yeah, and he revealed it to her later, which drove her insane. And then she fought Agatha and it broke reality.
Yes.
So... now we're seeing at the end of this episode, where are the kids? What happened to them? They're just gone. She goes down, sees that, you know what I mean, sees everything, sees a book that could be the Darkhold.
Gotcha. Because they could, maybe the multiverse either they're trying to use her to make the multiverse happen, or the multiverse is going to be, like you said, is going to be the result of the fight.
Yeah.
The one thing she's got going for her is Monica. Well, Vision's going to come back into play, and I think Monica is going to become an ally at one point.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Scarlett's still not just totally throwing her on the ground.
Yeah, I don't think she's completely bad. She's still balancing. I think she's still trying to balance. She might be leaning more to that bad side, and just like almost, you know what I mean? Like in this episode, you see her approach is depression. She's given up. Why try? You know what I mean? Even when she was talking to her sons, she's like, everything is pointless. But of course, come to your own conclusion. But that's just me. You know what I mean? She's kind of given up. It's not necessarily that she's just like malevolent, like I don't care about anybody. She's just kind of given up. This is my only option.
She also thinks.
I think Monica, at some sense, can, like, you know what I mean, get that.
She relates to that because of what happened with her mother.
Exactly.
I did what you did last time because I hear all the Carol Danvers stuff going on.
Yeah,
so I'm like, let me just turn my closed captioning on and see exactly what's going on.
Things,
and she goes, maybe you'll get to fly like your Aunt Carol. And I'm like, oh yeah, because she's about to get her powers right now. That's what we're watching.
And they're telling us that Monica does have a relationship with Nick Fury. We were questioning that. Does she know Nick Fury?
Well, she knows Nick Fury was, because you didn't see Captain Marvel, but Nick Fury was there.
He was there.
In Maria's house.
Yeah. That's Uncle Nick.
I got to correct myself because I said it a couple shows ago. I was like, what did she expect Captain Marvel to do? Mm-hmm. It's simpler than that. You were her best friend. You should have been there.
Yeah,
that's all the beef's going to be. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And so maybe they'll get like resoluted more quickly in Captain Marvel too. Speaking of guys on side, Quicksilver now.
Yeah.
That whole thing changed. I still, and maybe it's because of me, I still want to believe he's the X-Men Quicksilver. I still think he is. I think maybe he's under Agnes's control now.
He is. Like when I was reading, that's what happened. Agnes brought Quicksilver back kind of as a distraction.
Okay.
So like kind of how with this last Endgame arc, if you want to call it, of Marvel that we had, how everything led up to that one big moment.
Yeah.
Essentially, if Kang the Conqueror is the big bad, he was using Wanda the whole time and trying to make her go crazy to break everything. He was behind like the whole thing. How we ended up finding out that this whole time Thanos was behind it. Even when we saw Loki coming down and destroying things, and we thought he was the big bad guy, and we saw this guy, but it was kind of Thanos sitting in the background doing it. If they're doing that same route, it's Kang.
It's going to be okay. Yeah. Kang would pull the strings over Mephisto. I don't know much about Kang, so I don't know.
Kang is crazy in itself, because if they're doing this multiverse, the guy that Kang is, he essentially is their Iron Man.
Okay.
Who he starts off as. Kang is not Reed Richards. He's Reed Richards' father. He's what was his name? Not Franklin. Nathaniel Reed, or Nathaniel Richards. He is Reed Richards' father.
Oh, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror is Reed Richards' father. And he was the Iron Man, the Iron Lad of Earth 616. So that would be crazy if they used him for like they use Robert Downey Jr. as that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they would. I mean, they would do it without they'll go to him, and they're already talking to. I know they're talking to Nathaniel. Is that the name you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay,
Nathaniel,
there we go.
Iron Lad. Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for the spot, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for alley-oop.
Yeah. So my thing is with Quicksilver, because I just still want to believe. But if they are trying to access the multiverse, that would mean like we know how to crack it, and we would use her. Still the same formula, like she's reaching out for somebody.
Yeah, the multiverse Tony Stark. Exactly.
But she's reaching out for some help. She feels alone, but maybe Agatha kind of directed and made it happen. But instead of it being she implanted the memories in Quicksilver, it's Agatha speaking through Quicksilver. That's what I think it is now.
Yeah, when I read up on Agatha is like almost like ancient. She was like around before Atlantis sank within, that mythos. Like she's ancient. She was there for the Salem witch trials. And what was crazy is I read up on her, and she had a son. Her son, he was like a powerful wizard. I guess we're going into this realm where we're going to see all of this magic. Magic is going to take a bigger, stronghold within the Marvel universe. But her son, he was powerful. The same thing that's going on in this town, her son did in another town. that they called like New Salem, because I guess Agatha was one of the original Salem witches. She was the only.
I read that somewhere too.
She was the only like Salem witch that survived and then later joined. Yeah, exactly.
Baklava saying, the OG witch of Salem.
Yeah, the OG witch of Salem.
You know what I noticed when they showed her theme song and she flew in? She had a MCU style costume going.
Yeah.
Like there was a little glimpse of like her look.
Yeah.
Like she's got a cool costume,
she
even from
does.
the back of it you saw and everything. But we're gonna see her fully revealed. You saw the after credit scene?
Yeah, I did.
I think Monica's gonna learn her powers pretty quick.
Oh yeah,
I think
she's
Monica's
getting thrown into it.
she's gonna get head to head with Quicksilver.
Yeah. She's already just like I think she already knows, like, I don't know, because even when Wanda is like, I'll send you out of here, she's like, go ahead, try it, I don't care.
You know, I just thought of something right now. I was saying how I wanted Vision to get into Quicksilver's head.
Yeah.
I think Monica, because Monica's looking around almost like the Matrix, like she sees the grid.
She's seeing
almost
the code of it. Yeah.
So I wonder if Monica's by accident. Monica's going to free Quicksilver.
It's possible.
And get into Quicksilver's head because, like we said, there was still a breach sound. Quicksilver is still from the outside. Whoever brought him, whoever brought him.
That's Agatha.
Yeah. So, or Agatha steered. I feel like it's like Monica's the car and Agatha's driving it. I'm not talking Monica. Wanda. Wanda's the car and Agnes is driving the car. Like she's making these things happen because, Scarlet Witch is powerful enough to do it, but she doesn't know how to do it. Baklava is still in it. What are your thoughts on Quicksilver? How did they get his body? No, I think it's the Quicksilver from X-Men. I think it's the one. I think they pulled him from a different universe because he's dead. I think it's the X-Men Quicksilver.
It's Agatha's Quicksilver.
Yeah,
like I'm saying in the comics of Earth 616, this exact thing happens. Like Agatha pulls Quicksilver in to like make this stuff happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we even saw, like, when it was doing the intro, Quicksilver is there at the door and Agatha's sitting there waving her fingers and you see her magic on his back. So, like, she's the one that's doing it.
Baklava brings up another question, but how you saw that he's dead, just like Vision. He had a dead Quicksilver scene, but I still think that's the guilt. Yeah. And that's Wanda, because I think Wanda still physically, we said it's an alternate version of Quicksilver, but it's still Quicksilver.
Yeah.
It's still used somehow. There's some DNA. He has a sister named Wanda.
Yeah.
And that's just her. That's Wanda's head. That's not actually happening. Like seeing Vision with the thing ripped out. That's Wanda's just having like the commercials. Moment. The commercials. I saw one theory floating around, kind of interesting at the end, but they're saying it's the same couple in all the commercials.
Yeah.
And what if that is Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's parents?
Okay, yeah.
Not really, but they look like that.
Yeah.
Like they're dead and gone, but they're just made that way.
Yeah.
I hate to see something bad happen to those kids because they're still kids. I know in the comic books you get a little more freelance, get away with things like that. I'm just. I guess if the kids turn out to be real, it's not going to be as. I'd like to see those kids make it out of this show.
Or even if they weren't real, you know what I mean, like maybe they weren't real. I don't know.
I'd like to see Vision make out of this show, but I'm starting to doubt that now for some reason. I feel like if he can't leave the Hex is holding them together. The sad ending might be if she shuts things down, she's got to say goodbye to him again, which is it's kind of sad. You got to watch him die a third time.
Unless that Hex is what spreads out. We've already saw her anger go once and the Hex spread it out. So if her and Agatha really do have to go through this ultimate battle and she kills Agatha but loses control, who's to say that Hex won't infinitely span?
Yeah.
And then now we do have Vision within this universe, you know?
Baklava is saying the commercial is Nexus. They were mentioned in Ultron.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was Nexus in Ultron. They know everything about the internet and the data. Okay. Well, there is something interesting there's another interesting theory saying like they're trying to, which wouldn't make sense if he was Sword, but if Hayward is Hydra, because another theory is they're trying to access Ultron through Vision, and they might end up getting Ultron back. I don't know why it would be in anybody's interest to get Ultron back.
Yeah, because Ultron didn't care about anybody.
Yeah, he was going to kill the whole planet, so I don't really get that. But that's another theory going out there. There's still like a mystery cameo that's supposed to happen. There's a big buzz on that, and Quicksilver wasn't it.
Yeah, Ralph.
They could get Al. I'm hoping to see Al Pacino play Ralph. I was thinking if he's Mephisto or something, like, hey, just go full Al Pacino devil and do it up or something.
Yeah, they who are you talking about? Hydra, Baklava? Because that's what I've been thinking this whole time, is that like I still think we've seen slight cutscenes of someone else monitoring everything that was going on in this realm.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Bakaba says, yeah,
okay.
Hydra. Okay. Yeah. Well, we got definitely a game changer. Like everybody's in their positions and everything. So we got Wanda's coming back into play. Or I'm sorry, Vision's coming back into play. Monica's in the game. Jimmy's on the outside, which I think is going to be important because when
That's what I believe too, Baklava. I think Hydra they've got their footings and everything. It just determines at what time they get exposed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and well, Jimmy's gonna find out on the outside.
Yeah,
what's
going on? Yeah, because he was already talking. He's like, hey, he was saying everything that
they're gonna mount the attack, or we're gonna make our move.
Darcy
Hayward
Lewis,
Hayward was like, we're gonna make get ready, get in position. We're doing it soon. So you're gonna have this stuff coming up on the outside. You're gonna have stuff coming. Thank you, Bakava. You're gonna have stuff coming out on the outside, stuff coming on the inside. So it's all gonna like come to a head. But I'm really excited to see where it's going. And I'll tell you the truth, Khiim. When we finished Mandalorian, and I was kind of looking down the calendar, that's all these Star Wars shows, and I'm like, well, I guess we're going to have to fight our way through this WandaVision because I didn't think much of it when we got into it. Now I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, ooh, WandaVision.
Yeah, honestly, they're doing really good with this one.
And even Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was kind of sleeping on that until I've seen the potential from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Because that one looks like it's going to be a good palate cleanser.
Yeah.
We're going to go back into the real world and have that like Winter Soldier TV show, that Civil War TV show. So that I'm looking forward to, like I'm saying, Star Wars came out and said, here's what we got. I think Marvel's doing the same thing. They're like, hey, this is going to be great. So I'm going to see how this wraps up. I'm looking forward to this and to see what is coming down the road. I want to, of course, thank Khiim. Thanks for being here. This was a big episode, great show, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. In a week.